Tianzhen frowned and continued to say, "Why am I scaring you? There is more than one kind of demonic energy. There have been at least 3 kinds of monsters in your house in the past 2 days. And they are not shallow." My heart skipped a beat when I heard that. When I slept several times before, I always feel like some furry hand is touching my face. To say that's my wolf mother, I can understand. But where did the other 2 demonic auras come from? Tianzhen continued to say that there are still. Your master is a well-known feng shui master. Cayman Magia is proficient in almost everything. But such a knowledgeable person. How could a house like this be designed? Wenyan asked suspiciously what it meant. What happened to the house? What's the problem? Big problem. Look at your electric switch. No electric door faces west, and the doorstep has 3 floors. It's still paved with new bricks made from locust trees. And here's what's even worse. Even the temple gate is made of locust wool. This is the ghost gate. Specially for ghosts to enter and exit. I was stunned when I heard that. How is that possible? Master, this shop is dedicated to treating people. How could you design a ghost gate? If you don't believe me, then you take a good look. After Tianzhen finished speaking, he immediately pulled out a bottle of powder from the backpack. Then sprinkled the powder lightly on the steps. Just when I was confused. And then something happened that really shocked me. Only on the ground, rows of footprints of different sizes appear. There are adults. There are also children. There are even quite a few animal footprints. And I was dumbfounded. What the hell is going on? Did the master really design a ghost? But what did he aim at? This is Tianzhen staring thoughtfully at the footprints on the ground. Do you think it is possible? Is your master telling the fortunes of these mountain spirits? I shook my head. Master Church. I have so much fortune-telling skills. There's no need to hide this from me. But Tianzhen frowned and said, I don't think so. Your master's fortune-telling doesn't have a rule. He only counts on sunny days and daylight days, and only 3 per day. And what does he do the rest of the time? This is indeed my master's rule. I feel ancient too. Why can only count as 3 per day? And it has to be during the day and sunny. What did he do on rainy days and nights? Is the master really secretly telling the fortune of the mountain spirit wild monster? But Tianzhen pointed at the steps in front of him. Go on, although I don't understand your master's intentions. But I'm sure his design is very obscure. The average feng shui master can't see the clues at all. Hearing this, I have 5 mixed feelings in my heart. This means that the master does not want others to know about it. Even me. Then Tianzhen came to me. You look like you're hesitant to say something. Oh my god. We are brothers who have played since childhood. There are some things I don't know if I should say. You say it. I look at Tianzhen calmly. Your master may not be as simple as you think. Be careful, he has ulterior motives. Otherwise he wouldn't have done it. Don't say another word. My master was very kind to me. He didn't tell me. It's because I'm not good enough. I haven't been able to tell the fortunes of these actuaries yet. When the time comes, he would tell me. Just know what you want. Naively nodded. He didn't say anything. Then he turned around and walked to the backyard alone. At night, Tianzhen and I are still like children. spread the quilt on the ground. 2 people sleeping on the floor. Just as I was dozing off to sleep, Tianzin suddenly closed his eyes and asked me, I heard that 2 people died in the village some time ago. Do you know what's going on? Upon hearing this, I fell asleep instantly. Because I'm afraid he'll know that my mother killed someone. We'll go like a master. Mountain to catch wolves. After all, he was so unkind to Shangfire before. Seeing me stand for a long time without speaking, Tianzin suddenly sat up. Sneered. Why? Do you really think I don't know who did it? I was at a loss for words. I have no idea what to do. This kid looks unfathomable now. It's kind of confusing to me. After a while, I asked Tianzin with a serious face. Tell me the truth. What did you come back for this time? Tianzin looked out the window. I know what you want to ask. But there are some things I can't say. I can only guarantee, as brothers, I will never do anything wrong to you. And I nodded my head, no further questions, although Tianzin's words are vague. But it is certain that he came back this time with a mission. But since he said he wouldn't do anything wrong to me, then I'm relieved. Wake up the next day. Tianzin is no longer in bed. But I see his backpack is still there. I guess I went out to buy breakfast. I was just about to go out to take a shower, but was stopped by Shangfire, Brother Tian. Do you have any jade pendants or something like that? I will follow you during the day today. I'm not going anywhere. Go to my mother at night. Have you wait a minute? And I nodded my head. Go to the house and find the copper coin jade pendant. Next second, Shangfire turned into a wisp of blue smoke and merged into it. At this time, the jade pendant feels cold to the touch. It's like ice. I put away the jade pendant, briefly cleaned up, and they went to the hospital. Just made 20,000 yesterday. It should be enough for Master's medical expenses during this time. That gave me some peace of mind. But the Master is still lying on the hospital bed with a pale face. I don't know when I'll wake up. Accompanied the Master for a while. I hurried home again. But I still haven't seen Tian Chengzhou. I wonder what this kid is doing in the morning. Yes, but I didn't think much of it. Quickly open the store and start a business. I have to hurry up and earn medical expenses for the Master. But as a result, no one bought anything all morning, let alone come in to read fortunes. I'm a little depressed. At night, I don't know how many times outside, Shang Fei's voice came into my ears. God, don't worry. Business will definitely be better tomorrow. Thank you for lending your auspicious words, I said softly with a wry smile. The voice just fell. An old man walked in outside the door. He is the old river that lives in the east of our village. Xiu Wai stood up. Hey Xiu, how are you going? If you need anything, I'll get it for you. But just as I was about to step forward, Shangfire's vigilant voice suddenly sounded in my ear. Brother Tian, be careful. Don't go over and smell the smoke. And I paused. This uncle is usually mild-tempered, and he is very familiar with me and the Master. What do you mean you want me to be careful? Shangfire was silent for a moment and then said, Brother Tian, I said don't be afraid. This person seems to be dead. One? How is that possible? I was taken aback when I heard that. Uncle, he is only in his 40s. How could it suddenly die? I don't know, but he did die. If you don't believe me, look at his feet. Hear this. I subconsciously turned my head. I was so scared that I almost screamed. Because Uncle He's feet are actually suspended on the ground. Uncle He is really dead. I can't believe it. Because I've seen pictures for him before. He is just like Zhang Fire, by no means short-lived. Was he also killed by someone? Think of this. I certainly have a bad feeling. I haven't come to my senses yet. Uncle He suddenly waved at me, Xiaoqian. How much is this thing? In his hand is a paper tie girl. And it's beautifully tied. Could it be that Uncle He is choosing a wife for himself? I gave a stiff smile. Uncle He, you can take it if you like. This little gadget is not worth much. How can that work? Take it. Uncle He took out a red ticket and put it on the counter. I walked out with the paper scum man in my arms. Random, I watched that red ticket turn into a ghost coin. At this time, Tianzhen just came back from outside. So I went up and I grabbed him. Tianzhen, you're finally back. Uncle He hasn't finished speaking just now. Tianzhen interrupted me. I know Uncle He is dead. I just saw him carry a paper prick on his back. How did Uncle He die? I hurriedly asked. Just like the 3 people who died in the village before. Were bitten to death by wild animals. And the heart is hollowed out. Tianzhen said with a gloomy face. And I was frozen. Did my mom draw it again? But why is he killing people one after another? Okay, don't think so much. Clean up. Let's send Zhang Fire back first. Then we went to town his house together. And I nodded my head. Zhang Fire was released from the bath embryo. Immediately, Tianzhen took out a yellow talisman from his arms. Write Zhang Fire as birthday 8 characters on it. Then fold the yellow talisman into 1,000 paper cranes and throw it into the air. At the same time, Tianzhen put his hands together. A strange spell was chanted. And then something weird happened. This paper crane. He actually flapped his wings and flew. This is Tianzhen. He took out another prisoner and threw it to Zhang Fei. This is a ghost talisman. If anything happens, crush him. I'll get there as fast as I can. Thank you, Brother Zhang. I will definitely take the initiative to return in a month. Zhang Fei said with red eyes. Then he turned into a puff of blue smoke. I got into the paper crane. Then the paper crane flaps its wings. Gradually disappear from sight. Then, Tianzhen and I quickly headed to Uncle He's house. Wait until the door. There was still an unfinished flame in the courtyard. It looks like it's the paper prick. But I looked around and couldn't find Uncle He's ghost. Don't look for him, he's already gone. As Tianzhen spoke, he pushed open the door of the main room. I saw the whole at a glance. Uncle He's appalling corpse. His internal organs were almost completely gutted. Almost identical to the 2 who died the other day. This is my subconscious glance at Tianzhen. He frowned. His face is extremely ugly. After a moment of reflection, Tianzhen slowly said, Xiaoqian. So far, I don't want to hide it from you anymore. This time I'm back. It was the above who sent me to handle the murder in the village. Hear this. I'm not surprised. I guessed the identity of Tianzhen yesterday. This is Tianzhen's solemn face added. And I tell you clearly, it was definitely not a human who killed them. I gave a wry smile. I already knew it. So you came all the way this time just to kill him? I stared at Tianzhen and asked. It was Tianzhen who nodded without hesitation. But my eyes don't dare to look at me. But you promised me. I won't do anything to hurt my brother. God, I'm just doing this for heaven. Humans and demons are not mutually exclusive, but also follow their own rules. Now he has crossed the line. So I had to do it. Enough, stop talking. I don't want to hear this. See, my tone is tough. Tianzhen sighed and didn't say anything more. Instead, he turned around to inspect Uncle He's body. I don't understand what he is doing. It's just that his face is getting uglier and uglier. After a few minutes, he stood up and asked me how old Uncle He was. I thought about it and said 43. Uncle Shang, who died before, talked to Chen Mu about 44 and 45. Finish these three numbers. And I thought to myself, oh, yeah, are these consecutive numbers a coincidence? At this moment, Tianzhen began to pinch his fingers. After a few minutes, he suddenly turned his head and asked, who else in the village is 46 years old? What do you mean? I asked a little puzzled. I presume there will be more deaths in the village within a week. And if nothing else happens, that person should be 46 years old. I shook my head. I don't know about this. You have to ask the village chief to find out. Every census is conducted by the village chief.